Good morning, and welcome back to GP Outdoors. We're going to run some big wet maple through the Ultra today, just to show you folks how well it can handle it. We've run anything from our softwoods or cedar through it. We've run big and small maple, ash, and of course nasty stringy elm, both seasoned and wet, and frozen in some cases. And although Andrew Easton keeps telling me that this splitter is only rated at 14 ton, I still find it hard to believe, as I've run 7 or 8 splitters on this channel now, and the performance of this simple unit just continues to surprise me. Hey, you can hear Husky Bob going at that log pile in the background. Whenever we're running any of the big rounds through this machine, I always like to take the 4-way out, and I always find it a lot easier to manage your big rounds when you've got the single wedge in. The single wedge is adjustable, its height's adjustable. We always try to put it up at its highest height. It just gives you a lot more leverage, and I find having these big receiving tables helps immensely, especially when you've got big slabs that you've got to manage around the table while you're getting through the next one. You may notice as we go through the video that Guy will try to slab his splits off of these big rounds as much as possible. He does that because he uses the slabs to build the end rows of his stacks. He crisscrosses them the same as you would with a quartered round, but he finds that they're much more stable and have much more support to the end of that stack when they're slabbed and crisscrossed on top of each other. For years here, we used to run just a simple conventional single splitter, no tables, no receiving table, and sometimes I look back and I realize how beneficial it is to having either large side tables on that splitter or a big receiving table as the Ultra has here. No more balancing the rounds on your hip or having the rounds fall back down onto the ground or onto your feet. You've got a nice area that you can push off different slabs or different pieces while you work through the others. I've also had the odd comment or safety concern expressed about the splitter because the pusher plate actually meets the wedge or the blade. And I'll be honest with you, it's a very simple design. I mean, your hand should never be at the end of your log or your round to begin with, but I've never had a safety concern or, been a little bit worried at all about pinching my fingers or my hand between the wedge and the log. Should be grabbing the log on top or at the side to begin with, and we do. And having the pusher plate meet the wedge the way it does on this Ultra just makes running elm rounds through it with those nasty long strings, especially when they're wet, makes it so much better and so much easier to get through the round because the pusher plate helps to sever the ends of those threads. You can sure tell that Husky Bob and Guy have been working together a long time in the forest. It's kind of like a well-orchestrated or a well-run machine. They don't say a lot, they just both know what to do all the time when they're working together. This round right here was the nastiest of them all. It was green maple, and this part of the trunk on this particular round, if you look carefully, you'll see this is where one of the large limbs came off of the trunk of the tree. So the wood inside has got a huge knot and it's super twisted and gnarly. Not to mention, whoever blocked this round blocked the end on an angle, so you'll see as the round keeps going through the splitter, it tends to want to twist to the left. It's because the ends are not flush or not perpendicular. Thanks for sticking around this morning. I hope you enjoyed watching the Ultra at work again. Have a wonderful week with your families. Please be kind to one another.
Yep, it'll do the big stuff.